because usually I end up, it looks like I'm looking somewhere else. And I already have glasses. I look like this. Robotic?
Yeah, robotic.
Perfect. Thanks. Thanks, Manny. Welcome to Yogaxpress, the mobile stretch clinic that takes yoga to the people. Today, Josiane Hird to my left. My name is Banu Suresh. Today, Josiane and I are going to take you step by step through a slightly varied version of the sun salutation. We're going to make a small addition to our sun salutation stretches. Josiane and I came up with this idea that the sun salutation was lacking something. So I went home, thought about it, and we found that the only major muscle group that the sun salutation does not address are the obliques. So today we are going to incorporate one extra posture into our routine sun salutation. Before we do that, I would like to formally introduce Josiane Hird. Josiane used to be a belly dancer, but she loves to balance that along with yoga being her common denominator. She loves to balance that with her practice in boxing, martial arts,
Sailing.
aikido, sailing. So Josiane's been practicing yoga on a sailing boat as well, and that's how she finds a balance, right, Josiane? So folks at home who would like to stretch with us, please stay with us over the next half hour. We are going to take you through some very gentle warm-ups. You always need to warm up before you start your yoga stretches. And of course, after that, we will go through the 7 or 8 sun salutation postures. Today, we have 8 sun salutation stretches. Before we actually go into our stretches, I'd like to remind you that Yogaxpress is Monday through Friday at 1:30 p.m. on Time Warner 57, RCN 84, and FiOS 35. Thanks to a wonderful crew, we have Manny and Kevin on camera. Thank you for being there, Manny and Kevin. Thank you. Rosetta, Danny, and John in the control room. Thanks to all of you, we are actually able to air this episode today. And Kristen Kofa, our facilitator, for all these wonderful arrangements, the gobo, the lights. Thanks to all of you, and the wonderful sound system. We're expecting one more guest, and that's why we have a spare mat. The mat in front of us is a demo mat. We're expecting one more guest. Josiane has a wonderful friend. Josiane, tell us a little bit about Nell Greenfield in case she just comes in halfway through.
She was a photographer
Okay.
for many, many years, and she was traveling all over the world. She's 91 and a half years old.
There's your inspiration, 91 and a half.
She plays tennis.
Wow, at this age?
Yes,
Fantastic.
and still drive a car. And she's very fit. She's very, very alert. She's there.
No wonder you wanted her to come on this show. We hope Nell makes it in time before we finish this episode. If not, we have invited her to come with us tomorrow and the day after as well. So one of these days, you're going to see someone who's really going to inspire you to stay in touch with your body. Again, just as soon as we're stalling a few minutes hoping Nell will get here, but in the meantime I want to let you know that you have a lot of support from us. You have a website and an active blog, www.yogaexpress.blogspot.com. The website itself is yogaexpress.com. We also have a postcard. I don't have the actual postcard, we're run out, but we are going to run a few more. It's in the press. But the postcard looks like this. The 48 ailment-specific stretches are on a simple postcard. They're color-specific, ailment-specific. They start from standing, seated, prone, and supine. Josiane has been workshopping these postures with me. I don't know, how many episodes have you been with us, Josiane?
Quite a lot.
Quite a few. She's lost track now. But thank you. It's been wonderful to have you on the show. And in spite of her tender knee, your knee is still hurting you, right? She has been very sporting. She's stayed with us for a long time. We will also send you a fridge magnet and a little business card with a sequence on the back. The front of the card is not that important. It's a sequence on the back. Put this in your wallet. Keep the fridge. Stick this magnet on your fridge and keep the postcard in your bag. So don't give us any excuses not to stretch. Josiane, are we ready to warm up while we're waiting for Nell?
We are.
If Nell doesn't turn up today, she can still come tomorrow. That's not a problem. Okay. Josiane, this is not a sailing boat, so I know your balance is beautiful, but I still want you to be careful with that knee, the right knee, correct?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to start with a few rolls. We're going to start with a head roll, go to the shoulders, the wrists, and then you have knee roll. We're going to make sure that every joint in the body is nice and smooth before we get into our yoga stretches. Ready, Josiane? Heels together, toes slightly apart. Hi, Annie. Come and join us anytime. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to stand in a very still position. We're going to take a nice deep breath. We're going to inhale, take a deep breath in, and move our head, our chin, in a semicircular motion. So to the right and to the left, just to make sure we have enough neck movement. Let's do that. Inhale. To the right. Exhale. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale to the left. This time, inhale, come back. Let's take a full inhale and do a full circle. Take it all the way back. Now, you're not going to find our head turning back. We're just going to do a full circle upwards. So, inhale. We're exhaling as we do the circle. It doesn't matter which way we started. We go the other way, just to make sure you have that balance. Inhale again. Okay, we have enough neck movement at the moment. What we're going to do is do a few shoulder rolls. So we're going to first move the shoulder back and then forward. So let's do that. Let's take a nice deep inhale. Move the shoulder back. Exhale. Inhale, and let's come forward. If you're feeling a little tight today, feel free to do a few extra shoulder rolls because we are going to have a lot of arm movement and leg and knee movement. So when we do the knee roll and shoulder roll, do a few of those extra rolls if you want to. Now, we're going to move our knees from side to side in a semicircular motion. But before we do that, first we're going to bend. So exhale and bend just a little bit. This is actually part of another posture. Do you remember the one?
Yes.
Utkatasana, Thunderbolt. Exhale and roll from the right and then to the left. Exhale. Inhale, come back, then go to the left. Inhale forward. Let's do a full circle from the right. Then the other way. Inhale, come up. Remember, it's more important in yoga to exhale. Exhale helps detox us. Inhale happens. If you keep exhaling, the body naturally will make you want to inhale. So we don't have to consciously do inhales, at least not most of the time. Some postures, yes, you may be required to inhale consciously to fill your lungs with air. But most of the times in yoga, you exhale, and whenever possible, exhale from the belly, from the throat. You don't have to do an open mouth exhale. It's a deep guttural. Josiane, why don't you demonstrate to them? How do we do the ujjayi, the exhale from the throat? Take a deep breath. Right, if you can hear that whispering sound, comes from the back of the throat. You can even do it with your mouth closed. Take a deep breath in. So even when your mouth is closed, when you're exhaling, the sound does come out. Keep that breathing technique throughout your stretching. You will detox much faster. Let's try a couple of ankle rolls, Josiane. Just move your ankle from side to side. Lift our heel off the ground, place our heel on the ground, and just move it around. Make sure, and the way we test whether our joints are moving well is to listen for those little sounds. I'm going to go the other way. Is to listen for little pops and crackles. So if I hear a little pop in my knee needs a little more attention. Place my heel. I'm just going to move it around. This is also useful when we sit in an aircraft. You know, you don't have room to move. You want to stretch around. Let's do a little bit of a wrist roll, folks who sit at home and sit on your computer all the time. This is just to warm up. We're not going to do very intense stretches, but whatever we do, you don't want to end up where you hurt yourself. Josiane will tell us why. Josiane, you remember you said you sat in front of the computer with the AC, when the AC was on?
Yeah, the air conditioning was too cold.
And
I overstretched.
And you didn't warm up before you actually sat in that position. So always warm-ups are important. Josiane, today we're going to do the sun salutation with an extra, literally, a twist to the sequence. So let's stagger. Why don't you come forward? You want to come forward just a little bit, and I'll go back so we don't hit each other. Heels together, toes slightly. Actually, I may have to come forward just a little as well because I need leg room. All right, let's get that out. We don't need that. Yeah, we'll get that out. That's it. That's good. Heels together, toes slightly apart. Now, palms are in front of our chest when we start the sun salutation position. Inhale, take your arms all the way overhead. Now, when you're in this position, hold, and remember when we say hold, we mean hold your position, not your breath. When you go back as far as Josiane and I are trying to go, you'll notice that your pelvis will tilt forward just a little bit. Keep your legs nice and straight, but not stiff. We're going to exhale and fold from the hip, keeping your back beautifully straight. Again, not stiff, just straight. Exhale and fold. The first one with the arms overhead was called Hasta Uttana. Hasta Uttana literally means hands raised. Hasta is hand, Uttana is raised. This one is Pada Hasta. Pada is foot, Hasta is hand, hands to feet. Yoga is very sequential, and it's based a lot of it is based on common sense. Now, place your palms on the floor, take the left foot back, and then the right foot goes back. This is Parvat Asana. Parvat is mountain. And hold. Keep exhaling. This time we're going to bring the left foot between the hands. Bring your chest out. Typically, in most yoga postures, we try not to bring our knee too far over the toes. The muscle association, I don't know if there is such an association, but there are lots of organizations that are very, very cautious about overextending your stretches. But in yoga, we try to forgive ourselves once in a while. In this particular one, sun salutation, you need to bring your knees right over. You should feel a beautiful stretch in your quadriceps and your adductor muscles on the inside of your upper right thigh. Now, the variation we are going to bring in this posture is bring your knee down this time. Bring your right knee. Are you okay with that knee?
Yes.
Bring your right knee down, uncurl your toes. Let's come back just a little bit. And this time we're going to incorporate one extra posture. It's Parsvakona Namaskara. You don't have to remember the Sanskrit name. I'm just telling you, Parsvakona, kona is corner. All we're doing is twisting into a corner. Inhale the right arm. Exhale. Place the right elbow over the left knee. Place the left palm over the right hand and look up at the left elbow. Inhale. Come back. Let's come out of this posture. We will go into the other side when we do the other side of the sun salutation. Take your left leg back. Keep exhaling. Now, this time we're going to bring our right leg forward. Place your palms on the floor, your fingertips, anything that helps you rest your weight on the floor. Bring your left knee down. Uncurl your the toes on your left foot, and let's come back just a little bit. Place your right hand on your knee. Inhale, raise the left arm over. Exhale, dip the left elbow over the right knee. Place the right palm over your left palm. Look up at your right elbow. This time, when we come out of this posture, we're going to go straight into Danda Asana. Danda is plank. So it's exactly like your push-up plank position. Inhale. Let's come out of this. Josiane, let's go directly into plank. Curl your toes in the left foot. Take your right foot back. We're in plank. In plank, you will need to use your low back muscles. Look at a point in front of you that doesn't move. And keep your gluteals and your low back muscles nice and firm, nice and tight. Dip, bring your knees to the floor. Keep your toes curled. Exhale, dip your chest to the floor. Keep your elbows as close to you as possible. Exhale. Glide. Inhale, glide out into cobra position. Now, if you want to come, try not to come with your elbows straight. What Josiane's doing is beautiful. You always need your elbows bent, but if you use a little bit of pressure on the floor, you can come up if you want. What Josiane's doing actually looks much better than what I'm demonstrating, but you do get more of an inhale, you get more of a lungful of air when you come up. So if you feel you need to fill your lungs with air today, you can press your hand with your palms and come up. Make sure your toes uncurl, Josiane. Your toes are flat, very nice. Now we're going to inhale, lift our butt off the floor, come back into mountain posture. Curl your toes in, inhale, come up. Bring the right foot between the hands and then the left foot. Let's slowly bring the left foot forward. Keep exhaling, palms together. Inhale, bring your arms in front of you. Keep inhaling, take your arms all the way overhead. Exhale, bring your palms in front of your chest. And let's relax. Josiane, did we actually try to keep track of how many postures we incorporated? No. We did. Let's track it. We did arms overhead. We started with Namaskar, and then we went with Hasta Uttana. We did Pada Hasta. Then we took Ashwa Sancha. We took one leg back, and then we put our knee down. That's what I want to keep track. We did. That's 4, and then the 5th one was the twist. So that's 5. We did the twist on the other side, and then we did the plank. Came back into mountain, so that's 6 and 7. And oh yeah, that's right. After the plank, we did the Ashtanga Namaskara and the Cobra, so that's 6 and 7. And then we did the plank, and then we came back up. So we should have about 8 to 9 postures, and then we repeat 1 through 4. So that's a sun salutation. We did do, yeah, it feels good, doesn't it? We did do both sides as far as the twist goes because we incorporated it into one sequence.
It's a nice combination.
That's right. And it does make you very aware that the obliques need a little bit of a twist as well. But we need to do it one more time for the simple reason we need to get the rhythm of completing the other leg back first. Although we did do both sides, we first took the left leg back. So typically this posture, once you're used to the sequence, should take you literally 30 seconds once you know the flow of the postures. We are workshopping it, so we're doing it very slow so you can pick it up. So let's try. This time we will take our right leg back first and then the left leg. Okay, I'm going to stagger myself one more time. Heels together to complete the workshopping of the new sun salutation version that Josiane and I have just made up just for you. Palms together in front of your chest. Elbows are nice and up. The reason we keep our elbows up is to just feel alert. You could flop them down, but then there's not too much interest. The way Josiane's got, the way I'm trying to keep my elbows, actually makes you feel nice and alert, and it keeps you in the present. You're not thinking about your shopping list. You're not thinking about when to pick up the kids from school. We're just staying here. This is our moment. Heels together, toes slightly apart. Inhale. Raise your arms up overhead, palms together, and hold it up there. Tilt your pelvis just a little bit. Tighten your gluteal muscles, tighten your low back muscles, and hold your posture, not your breath. Exhale, keeping your back nice and straight. Fold from the hip. Little bit of caution. If your hands do not touch the floor today or your toes, Josiane is very comfortable keeping her whole palm on the floor. If I have to keep my palm on the floor, I have to bend my knees. So for me, I'm happy today keeping my fingers. But if you don't even get there today, that's fine. Place your palms on your ankles, your shin, maybe very gently on the knee. Just make sure you don't put pressure on the knee. You don't want the patella, the knee cap to move. But make the connection. Don't leave it hanging loose. So got our hands down. And then we're going to place our palms in front of our feet. Take our right leg back. Then wiggle a left foot forward. Let's bring that forward. Place the right knee on the floor. Uncurl the toes on the right foot. Now I'm going to come back up. A slight bit of variation. We did do this twist on the other leg, but we had started with the left leg, so we did the twist first on the right side. Place your left hand on your knee. Inhale, raise the right arm up. Exhale, dip your elbow over your left knee. Your right elbow goes over your left knee. Place your left palm over your right palm. Very nice, Josiane. Bring your left shoulder back just a little more. Very nice, beautiful. As Josiane and I go further back with the raised arm, you'll find you'll have more room to inhale more air into your lungs. So that also improves lung capacity. Plus, we're getting this beautiful oblique twist. Inhale, and let's release that. Now this time we're going to go back into mountain and come forward with the right leg. We're going to go back. So take the left leg back. Take a bit of an exhale. This is a beautiful rest posture. Bring the right leg forward. Now, if your foot doesn't come too far forward or you're a little concerned about the knee going over the foot, that's fine. You can bring it forward. But you find that when you bring your foot forward, your pelvis doesn't dip as much. So I'm going to keep my knee forward. And if Josiane, if you want to, you can also, that's good. You remember to put your knee down already. If you want to, I was going to say you can put your knee down. Place your knee on the floor. Uncurl your toes. The toes on the left foot. And then let's come back just a little bit. Place your right hand. Let your right hand stay where it is. Inhale. Raise the left arm. Exhale. Dip your left elbow over your right knee. Place the right palm over the left palm and look up at your right elbow, trying to move your right shoulder as far back as you can. Inhale. This time we're going to place both our palms on the floor and go directly into plank position. So let's place our palms on the floor, curl the toes on your left foot, take your right foot back and get into plank. Remember, in plank position, not only is it hard to speak at the same time, but in plank position you want to make sure your butt is not too high or dipping too low. When you dip too low, you're going to hurt your back. You go too high, it's not effective. So we're going to try our best to stay. It needs a lot of arm strength. Place your knees on the floor. Keep your toes curled in. We're going to exhale and dip our torso to the ground and glide out into cobra. It's two postures combined into one. When we come in cobra, we inhale. Exhale. And glide into cobra. And hold. Josiane's going to take the low cobra. I'm going to press, come up a little more. I feel the need for a little more air today, Josiane. When you're up in cobra, make sure your feet are nice and flat. Now, raise your hip. Curl your toes in, Josiane. Curl your toes in, lift your hip off the ground, come back into mountain posture. Now, we took the right leg back, so we're going to bring the right leg forward because we've already exercised both legs. Bring right leg forward, and then the left leg comes forward. Inhale, keep both your palms together with the back nice and straight. Raise your arms overhead. Exhale. Very nice. If you notice, Josiane and I came down in slightly different ways. Josiane brought her hand down in Namaste. I could see you through the side of my eye, which looks beautiful, by the way. I tended to bring mine down from the side, which is more of an exercise format. Josiane's is more of the spiritual way. You brought it nice and slow in front of your chest. Both forms are okay. Depends on what your focus is today. If you're doing the sun salutation for some kind of a spiritual pursuit for today, you just feel very centered. You want to stay there and feel a little bit of your spiritual energy coming through. The way Josiane's doing is beautiful. If you just want it for physical exercise, you can do what I did. So bring your arms out. It doesn't matter which way we do, you want to get there. So exhale and release. Josiane, how does that feel?
Oh, great.
Feels good, doesn't it? I can already feel myself getting out of breath. When you do a simple sequence like the sun salutation, it's just 9 postures plus 3 repeats. In this case, we did 4 repeats. You can already feel what we call the energy centers. We call them chakras in Sanskrit. Energy centers are just vortices of energy in your body, and between the head and the pelvic region, we have 7 major centers. I already, of course, I'm also talking at the same time, but most of the times, even at home, even when you are stretching without talking, you can feel those energy centers actually being activated. You feel the energy, you feel all warmed up, and you feel ready to just go. Right now, we have 3 minutes. That's beautiful. Thank you, Manny. Right now, we have just energized ourselves. We have not done any of the religious part. We haven't touched on the spiritual side, but we've already revved up our engines. Today, we've taught you how to do a very simple sequence every day. If you can spare yourself 3 minutes to do 3 circuits of the sun salutation, that itself is it's a complete exercise format. It's exercise all your muscle groups, glands, and organs in 3 minutes. Can we spare 3 minutes for our help?
Definitely.
That's right.
It's a wonderful warm-up.
I also know, Josiane, you love the breathing exercises. So let's complete our sun salutation with a really simple trifold breathing exercise. So let's sit on if the knees are difficult. Yes, cross-legged is fine. The other thing I want to remind our viewers, we have a couple of minutes left. We're just going to do a couple of simple breathing techniques. There are 2 ways. When you sit down and repose, there are 2 ways of sitting. You could sit the way Josiane's sitting, cross-legged. That's called Sukhasana. And before Josiane Hird herself, she would sit in full Padmasana, where she would take her heel, right heel tucked into the left inner thigh, left heel the other way. You're still okay with one side. That's right. That's half lotus. Whenever you feel better, one of these days when your right knee is better, you're going to cross over and you're going to show them full lotus. For me, the full lotus is a bit of a challenge. I prefer to sit this way. Regardless of which way you sit, if you're sitting like Josiane is, you want to keep your palms, your finger and thumb are connected, and I'll explain why. There's no religious voodoo or anything of the sort. Forefinger and thumb are connected. You place your palms open, palms facing up. I would sit with my palms facing down, index finger and thumb connected. This simply helps to center ourselves. It helps us look inward. So let's do that. Let's do a bit of a belly abdominal breathing. All we're doing is just inhale and exhale through the abdomen 3 times. Let's inhale. 2 more times. Take a deep inhale. 1 more. The next breathing technique, are we totally out? We have 1 minute, perfect timing. The next breathing technique I would do on a daily basis, just these 3 basic breathing techniques. We're going to oxygenate the whole torso, the middle part of our body. So we're going to take a deep inhale with our nostril, thumb on the right nostril, little finger on the left one. Take a deep breath. Close your left nostril with your little finger, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Hold, close the thumb, exhale through the left. Let's do this just 1 time. I want to demonstrate 1 more. We're just doing that 1 time. I'm sorry, we should have kept the rhythm of 2, but I want to just point out something. 1 more where we take a deep inhale through, we're timed out. Okay, we'll